I've pressed the button and I've announced it. I probably just pinged off a server.
Ooh, there's a GMan recaps tag.
Yeah.
Probably should have used that one yesterday, but
Yeah, no one watches your recaps anyway.
Gosh, that Skaven team is just gutted now.
Yeah. A real asshole did that.
I mean,
well,
like I said, I do have to side with. I'll side with warm bloods over cold bloods when it comes down to it.
Yeah. And screwing this.
I mean, it's nothing personal, but with lizards, it is personal.
Yeah.
Well, you keep on nagging me that my players have to die, so I'll just kill other players and make other people's life miserable because of you.
No, but we want players to die for entertainment, so we can get more puns. See, rats don't do puns, so...
Why not? They could do that. There's a chance that will happen.
Yeah, so... should probably start soon.
Yeah, I guess we'll be starting with 6A again, or do you want to mix it up and maybe start with 6B first this week?
I think let's do 6A first.
Okay.
Okay. So first off, we are nope, looking at the schedule. So first off, we had bye week for Divine Light Templar.
And moving on, then we have the 2-2 draw between Really Old Kings and Wolverine Wraiths. And you know, if you look at the stat box on that, it was almost 2-1 bash for the 2-1 tackles blocks for the Wolverine Wraiths. So that was a good score for the Bretts when they're basically getting outblocked 2-1.
Yeah, the ball possession seems pretty even.
Mm-hmm. And outside of those blocking stats, it looks like a pretty even affair. I mean, the Bretts did lose a blocker that died that game, but oh well. At least it wasn't a piece with a skill on it, and they still got that strength blitzer going strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both teams got some decent development out of this.
Yeah, there's a... Brett's got a leveled up blocker, and I see the Wolverine Wraiths leveled up their strength white and a zombie.
Yeah.
Always good to feed up those strength pieces.
Maybe I'm misremembering, but I could swear maybe it wasn't this team. Oh, never mind. I thought I saw a team that lost a ghoul, but that could have been 6B.
I think that was the
That was Fasco, I believe.
Yes, that was Fasco.
Yeah. They're undead. All look the same to me.
I know, they do look the same. They smell the same too.
Yeah. And then after them, we had bye week for Picking Flowers. Getting
everybody's favorite flowery chorf team.
Yeah. Got both touchdowns on the same players, so okay development there. And then we had the infamous Sons of the Underground versus the horrible, disgusting, evil Haunting Lizards. Going 0-2.
Well,
President Full Metal, we hardly knew ye.
Yeah.
They say that the brightest flames burn out the quickest.
In this case, he was put out with a fire hose.
Yes, and he took a gutter runner with him.
Yeah, that's pretty rough for
And here
Skaven team.
stands the accused Hindi of
Yeah,
killing
Thing.
innocent rats.
Yeah.
Cute, adorable little rats. Big rats, small rats.
well, the rats started to hurt my sauruses, so I had to do something. I can't
Oh,
just
it
let
was
them kill me.
self-defense. Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, obviously.
There's no way you would have been the aggressor in that.
I blame the rain because the whole game it was raining,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there was something in the rain that killed.
I see a
those
pattern
rats.
of externalizing blame here.
Mhm. So that was a pretty
That
rough
has to be a
game.
game the Wizards are happy with, though.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky on the block dices. I got mostly powers. That helped a lot. Also, there was a key turn, I think it was turn 3 or turn 4, where Shady started with a Red Ogre Blitz and got a triple both down,
Oh no.
where most of its rats were still on the ground, which led to me stealing the ball.
No, he hadn't stood up a bunch of the rats yet.
Yeah, and then I was basically in control of the first half, and the first half ended 1-0 for me. Then the second half started off fairly lucky for him because he got a short kick and the blitz, got under the ball. He then, in the following turns, tried to get the ball closer to my end zone, but Dino Score, my blotch skink, basically was on gutter hunt and injured one gutter and killed the other.
Ooh.
That was quite nice.
See, so there we go.
And
He's
then
he didn't get
T-Rex.
the MVP. He got a score and a casualty.
Yeah. And then T-Rex basically just had enough of President Full Metal's shenanigans and decided to stop that.
You know, maybe he didn't deserve to keep living after that 3 both down dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure
I'll
that was
miss
very
him.
disappointing for Shady. We'll all
And
miss him.
from there, it was basically I managed to pick up the ball, get away, and
Yeah, that's a pretty good outcome from getting blitzed on by Skaven. That's usually a pretty rough start. But
Yeah.
you do have the skinks. That's a good way to keep up with the gutter runners. So you can kind of keep them in check a little bit.
yeah,
especially
the
if they're
blotch skink was great because
good for blitzing them.
but
So
as I said, I was pretty lucky on the power dices, so
Well, hey,
I
that's
can.
always the best strategy, is just to roll a bunch of pows. You know.
Yeah, but I can see why Shady was frustrated after that game.
yeah, he was not happy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before he can replace those pieces. I was looking, he only has about 50k gold sitting around, and he's got multiple holes to fill now.
Yeah.
Uphill battle.
Yeah, so we look at next game. Was Normies Get Out versus Undead
Normies.
Necromancers. And
I feel bad for those normies. They've had a rough run so far, and it doesn't look like this one was any easier for them.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I faced them in week 1, and they honestly played it pretty well. They managed to MNG my Soros on a 3+ Dauntless 1 dice, and then he proceeded to score through a 4+ and a 3+ dodge, I think. So I wasn't happy about that, but I managed to win that game, so it all
Yeah,
worked out.
His injuries just haven't been too fortunate either. This might be one of the roughest games he's had too. Looks like we took a niggle on a blitzer, a strength bust on a blocker, just an MNG on another blitzer.
but I
But it was give and take. He killed the Sure Hands Ghoul, a fast kill,
yeah,
and
that's
niggled one of the whites.
that's rough.
Yeah, he's going to be remembering that game at least. He had to pay for that 2-0 win.
Yeah,
But no easy breaks for normies.
yeah.
Hang in there, normies. I'm pulling for you.
Yeah. I also want to mention something that the game, the 2-2 draw between Wolverine Wraiths and Really Old Kings was Wolverine Wraiths' first game. because previous 2 weeks we had bye weeks, so he's probably happy that he finally got to play.
Right, I couldn't remember if that was them or the other team that had the 2 bye weeks.
No, I checked.
I think
It's,
I too get all the undead teams mixed.
yeah, I checked. It was Wolverine Wraiths.
the
That is correct.
undead necromancers played in the first week and got a bye week in the second.
Yeah,
Let's see, what do we got left? We got the Badlands Fairies in a 1-2 loss to Tumbling Dice.
yeah,
The becoming more stacked by the moment Wood Elf team.
yeah. Both MVPs leveling up after this game, but both got MNG or Eagles, I think. So not that great, and a death for the Tumbling Dice.
Yes, they did lose a lineman and get another lineman move busted, but you know they've been able to protect the important pieces. You're not going to be able to hold on to everything as Wood Elves.
Yeah. Interesting, if you look, the Orcs only got 25 blocks on the Elves.
Yeah, they were probably just dodging out of every single tackle zone they could.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, sometimes that's the best game plan against Elves is just hope they snake their dodges.
Yeah. The Owls got pretty good SPP, if you look. A lot of...
It actually wasn't that bad for both games. I see the Orcs got 3 level ups out of the game, so...
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, the Wood Elves managed to succeed 4 passes, so...
So standard
think-
game.
Yeah, just another day at the office for Wood Elves.
Yeah.
What do we have is our last map.
Born to be Wild drawing 1-1 with the Chocolate Hornets.
Chocolate Hornets.
Yeah.
And the Chaka Hornets managed to level both their blitzers, I believe.
Yes, both of their agility blitzers, and they're holding out on the level up. What are you hiding from us?
He probably got more agility. Yes, Agi5 blitzers, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Now all they're missing is leap.
Well, maybe they just got a strength up, so...
Yes, they could just be vampires now. We don't know.
Yeah, so Chocolate Hornets shaping up to quite a formidable team with these...
Looks like this was a pretty standard fair bash game too, 41 to 47 tackles, so they're beating on each other just about at the same rate.
Yeah, but if you look at the KOs sustained by the
Yes.
Chaos, that is 6 KOs,
Yeah,
1 casualty.
the Chocolate Hornets made their bashes count for a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but surprisingly, the Chaos was in possession of the ball most of the time, so...
Yeah, that is interesting. And
Yeah, you know, those Orcs can probably score pretty fast with those 2 agility blitzers. You know, do like a little handoff chain or a little quick pass between the 2 of them. You can cover the ball, you know, from midfield to end zone pretty fast. 1 turn.
yeah, Chocolate Hornets did do a pass, but I think it was a short pass. So that was probably just get some SPP on Morgoth.
But he did pass 4 yards, which isn't too short, so...
Yeah, could be. I'm not sure how that yardage works on the pitch exactly, so... but yeah, it was pretty...
Oh, yeah, that's just a short pass. That's like a 1 Tyler.
Yeah. But yeah, it was...
Okay.
Yeah. It was pretty bashy game, as you said. Not a lot of scoring. That means Chocolate Hornets are 2-1-0, I think.
Yeah, they're still in the hunt.
Yeah.
So I think we've had a couple level ups this week too, if you're ready to start looking at the teams.
Yeah.
Let's see. First up is the really old Kings. And they leveled up a blocker to give them Mighty Blow, the Egyptian archer there.
That's quite nice.
So they're just craving some Mighty Blow. Tired of getting beat up on by all these other teams, and they're ready to give a little back.
Yeah. They do also still have that strength blitzer and free dodges, so that's not bad.
Yes, that's a pretty mean ball carrier there, 4-strength blodge.
Yeah, I can tell from experience.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's not fun having to body your whole team up on him just to get a 2 dice and pray for a POW.
Well, I do have Sauruses, so that helps, but
yeah.
definitely not fun to play against all that Dauntless block and the strength up.
Yeah, Bretonians are actually an interesting matchup against lizards at low TV.
Yeah, especially since they got most of the removals and I didn't really, but it worked out.
The way the cookie crumbles. And I don't know if the Divine Light Templars got any levels from their buy this week.
I think I looked it up. They didn't. They got quite a lot of cash, which is currently bloating their team value.
Yeah.
But he might be getting
Correct.
another team reroll.
Yeah, I definitely go for another reroll.
Or a reserve, or
Yeah.
Wizard Stadium. Of all the fun. It's 2 wizards, twice the fun every match.
And then someone still could buy one.
No, you can actually only have one.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah. 2 wizards.
I
Each
know,
team. No, thank you.
That would be really fun.
Wolverine Raves.
Yes, I know that strength white leveled up and he put guard on him there.
Yeah, so
Not a bad idea.
yeah, so he has 3 guard on this team now.
And dirty player he gave to that zombie down there. That's an even better idea.
Yeah. Still has a disgusting ghoul, who's 1 SPP away from another level up.
And smartly, I think, only has 1 ghoul. He hasn't invested too much in the ghouls. It's easier to protect 1 than it is to protect 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope some of his level players maybe could die until I play him, because this team is looking scary.
Yeah, I was about to say this team's really shaping up. This is,
Yeah.
I mean, that's all the guard, the 3 strength 4 pieces.
Well, at least he
Rough
doesn't
matchup.
have a Mighty Blow Wolf, so
Yes, and none of the whites have Mighty Blow yet either. He opted to go the guard route first, which can be, I mean, that can be good too. It's got a cumulative effect, and he's already got 3 of them.
Yeah. He does have a plus strength white, so that's quite nice. So hopefully some skinks will have fun in the future.
yeah, my skinks always have fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to step on skinks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, until the skinks step on you, then the fun might turn.
Who do we have next? Picking Flowers. They did have the bye week, and I think they leveled a Hobgoblin off of that.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yes, Mimosa.
Yeah, you got a dirty player.
Dirty player. Good choice.
Yeah.
He's going for the kicking skills for his Hobgoblins. He's got 1 to kick the ball, and he's got the other to kick the player.
He does have quite a bit of bank, so probably want to get a reserve.
I probably would get the third reroll.
I know, especially with dirty. You kind of want a reserve or 2 to really throw around that dirty player a little heavier too.
Yeah, maybe. Who is he facing next? I think he's facing...
Wolverine Wraiths. Ooh, have fun.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, he might want some reserves for that one.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, and now up next, the one and only Lizard Pun team with the famed coach Hindi Rat Murderer here.
Yeah. Ooh.
What? It was all the rain. I did nothing.
Yes.
Sure. It was only
You hear that
Def.
the Lizards did nothing wrong.
Yeah, it wasn't Def Floor though, it was Def Crocs.
Well, as I said, the Red Ogre did some shenanigans. The Crocs didn't like it. He had to do something about it. And he is a pretty meaty guy, and he can't really control his strength, so he went overboard a little. you know, that can happen. It was an accident.
Yeah. And I have a better one. Defagor. Yeah, that's what happened.
I want to know if there's going to be a new president of Full Metal, or if he might have sworn off at Rat Ogres after that little affair.
Yeah, you probably won't get enough cash to replace the Red
Yeah.
Ogre.
Yeah.
Let's see, you had Dino Score level, gave him Sidestep, not a bad idea. Got the little Blodge Step skink, that's pretty annoying.
Yeah, I like him. As I said, he was pretty much the MVP of the last game, blitzing gutters left and right.
And
Yes, that kind of piece is very good against stunnies or gutter runners. Most of those pieces aren't going to have block, and he's fast enough to catch him and make a couple dodges to get there.
and the other two skinks are also close to leveling up. Of course,
But
Cash's favorite, You Bet Your Ass I Can.
I don't know. I
But
think
if-
Dino Score might be my favorite because he has block now. I'm picky like
yeah, and I'm thinking of maybe retiring the stand-up comedian or the You Bet Jurassican if they don't get a double.
I was about to
especially
say, you're
since
probably
I-
hoping for one of them to double pretty bad, grab some shirt
Yeah.
hands or something.
Especially since the week after this week I will have a bye week, and then I don't want them to eat one of the MVPs because I much rather have one of
Mhm.
those MVPs on a Saurus than on.
Saurus.
But I will see how this week's game will go.
Would you fire both of them on a regular level up, or
Probably if they both only have normals, I would probably fire them because I rather have a fresh skink than a
yeah,
floaty
keep it
skink.
lean?
Maybe I would keep one, but since I have the bye week, I probably would fire both of them. And
Would you maybe think about putting diving tackle on one on a regular?
yeah, that's probably what I would go for, but it's a tough choice. I will see how the game against Hordemaster will go, and
Yeah,
then go
sometimes
from
it can
there.
be a bad thing to get too many level ups, and especially in those new team divisions. You don't want to be giving away wizards every match.
Well, I think some of the other teams are quite well developed, especially, for example, the Wood Elves, who I'm facing after the bye week.
Oh yeah, be getting a wizard for
But
that.
I-
You'll need it.
I would really like a wizard against them myself, so
Well, of course, now you've jinxed yourself, and they're going to suffer like 3 missing next games before your match to put y'all.
well,
at
if
even.
their war dancers are missing X games, I'm gonna take that.
You will be playing with a
I would-
loner though.
Yeah, but I'd much rather play against a loner lineman than a war dancer with Mighty Blow and Tackle.
No, I mean you're playing with a loner.
So yeah, I'm playing with a loner. Sadly, Queen Elizabeth.
Hey, somebody's got to mark the tree.
Yeah.
All right, who do we have next? The undead team, not to be confused with the necro undead team.
Yeah.
The
They.
ghoul team.
Yeah, Dead Ghoul team.
Yes, the dead ghoul team. That carnivore collector is a new ghoul to replace the dead sure hands ghoul of this last match week.
Which is an interesting decision to replace him that soon. I probably would have waited another game, because now if he rolls low on the cash and the white or mummy dies or gets hurt, it will be tough for him.
Well, yeah, the 0 SPP white is brand new as well because he replaced it because his other one got niggled, so he fired
Yeah.
it. So those are 2 new. He just bought a new white and a new ghoul, so that's why his bank got emptied out.
Yeah, I probably still would have waited on the
Yeah,
fourth ghoul.
that was my initial critique of this team. Looking at him at the start too, as I was like, man, 4 ghouls, that just seems like a little much. You're not going to be able to protect them all.
And he showed
But
that.
if
They're
it works
good
for
pieces,
him,
but they don't stay around too long. And yeah, as we saw the other necro teams, obviously necros don't need the ghouls as much as undead, but it's easier to protect just one than it is to protect 4.
Yeah.
And on to the totally not scary wood elf team.
Yep.
somebody needs to kill some of the bloat.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is there's too many players that need to die now.
Yes, versus Ish. This is gonna be fun to play against.
I think he got both of the strength and the extra agility after the last game.
No, he's had those for a
Did he
while
have
now.
those?
I think
Okay.
he might have had those from the preseason.
Okay,
I recall.
then I'm just.
Let's see, did he have any level ups last game? Yes, he had a lineman. The catcher got sidestep, and that lineman got guard. Because
Okay.
that's what this team needs, guard.
Yeah, so
Well, what that team needs is it needs to die. That's what that team
Yeah,
needs.
that team needs a TV haircut. Trim it down a little bit.
yeah, I mean, the only two player only has the 3 men and 2 linemen, but doesn't have any level ups. So
Both the war dancers with mighty blows, just not fair.
yeah, that's pretty bad, disgusting. And if we okay, Chocolate Hornets of course did not level up, but they do get a level up on the blitzes as said. I kind of wish,
Oh, we want to see.
yeah. Okay, predictions.
Fun.
What do you think you will take? What do you think should be the next choice?
Well, are we talking normals?
Yeah. Let's talk normals because okay, let's take both
If
scenarios.
they were both normal, so you would have to give at least one of them guard, right?
Yeah, you definitely
not
need
both.
some guard.
I mean, 4 Agi has the great synergy with guard too, because they can make the dodges to put the guard where you really want it to be.
Yeah.
But maybe he wants to make one of them into a hitter too, because that's they're a little more elusive.
Yeah.
Tackle or mighty blow on there.
On doubles, dodge would probably be
Oh,
pretty
yes.
great.
Yeah, you'd have to go dodge on doubles after
Yeah.
already having 4 agility. If there were still 3 agility pieces, you could consider passing it up for some other stuff maybe, but at the point they're already 4 agility, you would go dodge.
Okay. And then
You know, this team's already got 3 mighty blow. I'd just guard it up.
Yeah.
Born to be wild.
Well, they're looking a little healthier.
Yes.
This is another team that had a bit of a rough start in terms of the injuries.
Yeah.
They had a game where they did play the Chocolate Hornets, but nobody died, nobody got stat busted, which that's a victory in and of itself for this team at this point.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see, he got which Beastman leveled Lion for another block. Because he figures, I've probably got enough Mighty Blow at this point.
Yeah, 4 mighty blow, 5 mighty blow actually should be
Because
enough.
we are running a Minotaur.
Yeah, that could be tough if you play.
Hey, the Minotaur outlasted the Rat Ogre.
Well, the Minotaur didn't face me yet.
Yes, we'll see. See if we can make it through the T-Rex.
Yeah, I hope those.
Slayer of AV8 big guys.
I hope this team won't get any claw until they face me, but that's probably just a dream.
Yeah, this team could go from looking kind of scary to real scary real fast when they start pairing up some claws with those mighty blows.
Yeah, and you're only facing them ish really late on. Ooh, that's not good.
Well,
You're facing
Maybe all those players will be dead by the time you get to them.
yeah.
yeah,
I think optimistic.
you're facing them week 11.
And who do we have next? Badlands Fairies.
Yeah, the polka dot purple orcs.
It's a very fashionable color this spring.
Yeah, I can imagine Hindus's little birdie icon in a purple armor set.
Purple polka dots.
Yeah, it's growing on me. I didn't like it at first.
Stands out. At least it's very easy to see your players on the field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not gonna get them mixed up with the enemies probably. Let's see.
I
he
think
had
it's-
2 levels this week. He had the troll and the black orc leveling.
Yeah, so block and guard, or guard for the troll and block for the black orc.
Yeah, I think that's the choices you would expect. I'm just still a little curious why he went for the troll build, but yeah.
I mean, it seems to be working out for him. Just getting some casualty SPP on that troll. Maybe just be one of those things he plans on dropping later, maybe once the rest of his team's firepower comes online.
Yeah, maybe he will also pick up a goblin to go for a teammate 1-turn touchdown.
Yes, I would be much more pleased with that.
Because the goblin is only 40k, I believe.
Why not? You never know, and you might have to bust out that one turn.
Yeah. And he doesn't have a crazy team like Hornets.
Well, it's still a decent looking team.
But his team is also about 200 TV less than the Hornets.
Yeah.
Once you factor in those level ups they haven't spent yet, really.
Yeah. So if you look at normies get out,
Oh, poor normies.
yeah, Brett's not having a great tournament so far.
That really breaks my heart.
Well, why did they both have to face me in the first 2 weeks? It's just not fair towards them.
Yeah. In
Gosh,
this,
they just got murdered this game. We got a strength. They got. So they lost another blitzer and blocker this week.
yeah, that's
Just can't hold on to the pieces. I feel bad for this guy. I wish better for Brett's.
yeah.
But you know, this is the real world. The good guys don't always win. So
Brett's aren't good guys. Only Skavenor.
yeah, they are. Look at that stat line. That is a noble and fair and just stat line.
Well, I think
Don't
we
be
can all
bringing
agree
Skaven into this.
that's Skaven not good guys.
No, you can't be a good guy while you have 9 movement and 4 agility. That's a bad guy stat line.
Yeah, but if he's dead, he's dead.
Okay, I guess
Speaking of Skaven, let's take a look at what's left of this team.
not much.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate answer.
That lineup looks really sad. We're just like, we don't have any friends.
Yeah. Losing the gutter runner and the rat ogre.
And
While having no gold to replace either.
and MNG linemen, so we have 3 loners next game, and they only have a level up on Vice President Maddox, so they basically only have Claw, and that's quite rough considering it's 4th week already.
Well, he
Yeah,
will at least get a lot of
backwards.
inducements.
Yeah,
That's true. Skaven can perform well with inducements, so.
yeah. Of course, if he loses another player, that's gonna sting as well.
Ooh, and they do not have an easy match this week either.
Nah, the Chocolate Hornets are a tough
Chocolate
matchup.
Hornets.
That's rough.
That's a tough rebound game. Sorry, rats.
And a week after that, we have normies get out, and then
That'll be the bully bowl. Who's gonna stop being the victim?
yeah, and then finally week 6 they get a bye week. So
There's relief in sight.
yeah, but still, Chocolate Hornets is gonna be difficult because they're performing really well.
Yes, they are, and they've got the mighty blow to beat up that team
And they're edgy
dealing
to run away.
with rats trouble as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you look at the leaderboard quickly, we have Undead Necromancers and Lounging Lizards, top of the table, 3 each. And then Chocolate Hornet,
Congratulations, Hindi.
yeah.
Yeah, I hope it stays to the way.
There's still a lot of games to be played.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at this week's schedule, and first off, we have.
Bye week for the Badlands Fairies,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then Born to Be Wild versus Normies Get Out. Ugh.
Yeah. Another tough
Sorry,
game.
Normies.
Yeah. Tough.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of Mighty Blow to play against with the beat up half armor 17.
Yeah. Okay, I would ask what you think that score is gonna be, but I think the bigger question is what's the casualty count gonna be, do you think?
Yes, no. The question is how many Bretts will be left on the pitch by turn 16? And I am going to guess no more than 5. And that
Yo.
is to say that Born to Be Wild will win that match. I'm sorry, Normies.
Yeah. You agree with that, Indus?
Yeah, it's probably the result. I just hope the normies can take 1 or 2 players with them.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I will always root for Bretonians over Chaos. It's not that I want the Chaos to win. I just
Yeah,
that's a
nobody
beat-up
wants
roster.
chaos to win.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Next.
then here's another very hard matchup: the Chocolate Hornets versus Sons of the Underground.
Yeah, this is.
Another beat-up team going against a borderline juggernaut at this point.
Yeah, and I think the same question is as with previous game. Do we see the
Yes.
Skaven surviving?
Okay, no, that's the real prediction of the week: is who will have more pieces left by turn 16, the Skaven or the Bretts in their matchup? Who will hold up better?
I mean,
I
the
might say
Brits.
Brett. I might go Bretts.
Yeah, I mean, the Brits do have a bit more lasting power, while the Skaven, most of their players are like unskilled, only have 2 blocks, so.
But I'm
No.
actually gonna go with the Skaven because they do get a lot of
Oh, yeah,
inducements,
I mean, we'll
and
have a wizard and gutter runner, so I mean, that's.
and the Brets are facing a lot of mighty blow. So
Yeah, true.
Chocolate Hornets isn't really a soft team either, though. They've got at least 2 Mighty Blow, and we don't even know what he's going to do with those other levels.
yeah, but
Yeah.
still, I think Shady played pretty well against me. So I could actually see him finding maybe a tie here. I think
Okay,
that's
Maybe
possible.
that'll
as
be a
well.
match to watch then.
Yeah.
Keep my eye out for that one. And up next is the team that needs no break, but is getting one anyways, Tumbling Dice.
Yeah. So.
The rich get richer.
Yeah. And then we have Undead Necromancers versus Really Old Kings. Like,
I might give a slight edge to the really old kings there. That's, they don't have any tackle for the ghouls, but half of those ghouls don't have block or wrestle, so
yeah. So.
I don't know, I just want to think that if he can get the ball in the hands of that 4-strength Lodge Blitzer for the Bretts, that the Undead just won't really have a good answer for that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good possibility for the Brets to pick up their first win.
So what are
I'm trying to be optimistic for the Bretts here.
so what are your predictions?
I'm gonna go fanboy and just say Bretts with this one.
Yeah.
Just because maybe I can wish it into existence.
Yeah. Score wise.
Well, I'm probably gonna go with a tie again.
Okay. Stop being. Why don't you
Ties. We don't
fun?
want ties. We want wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't always have wins unless you're watching me.
No, if you want. Okay, and talking
We'll be
about
watching
you.
you play. Yeah. Speaking of watching you play, you'll be up against the Divine Light Templar next week.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that matchup?
Yeah, it will definitely be a tough matchup. I'm a little scared of that extra movement mighty blow catcher I got.
Yes, but fortunately, he doesn't have block or tackle yet, so
Yeah, that's
your real worry is him hitting the skinks, but he doesn't have those tools to get down a skink, really.
yeah. I think if I can protect my skinks in the first half, it a win should be possible, but
How do you feel playing against elves as a Lizards coach? Is that a matchup you like or don't like?
well, it's always depending on the elves I'm facing and the development I got, but I'm pretty confident against high elves, but I'm much more scared of those wood elves. So I guess it's a fairly even matchup against the high elves. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but
Yeah,
I think I can do
that's
it.
a tough game to predict because it's just one of those things where it's, the whole game could come down to one agility roll or something like that.
Yeah, I also never played Hordemaster or saw him play, so I can't say anything about him.
Well, he seems to be doing pretty well with high elves, and
Yeah, I think it will definitely be an interesting game to watch.
to me, high elves are always the elf team that you kind of play to show off your elf chops. Like, everybody can play dark elves, wood elves, or pro elves good, but can you do good with high elves too?
Yeah. Okay.
So that should be an interesting matchup. I think I'm gonna give you the edge on that one, Hindi. Just because I don't see it, and I would really like to see some tackle on that elf team, or at least a block on that mighty blow catcher. Because I think he's going to be put in a situation where he's only going to really be throwing blitzes towards your skinks with his blitzers, because he's got to have that block advantage.
Yeah, it probably depends if my skink break. He will have an advantage. If I can get some elves off the pitch, I'm gonna be in a good spot.
Yeah.
But that's Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
It can be dangerous to assume what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, final game of the week we have the Chaos Dwarves of Picking Flowers versus the Scary Wolverine Wraiths.
That's another tough one to pick. I mean, I feel pretty confident in Migo's ability to coach those dwarfs, but that Necro team's starting to look scary. I mean, we've all seen it. How much guard does Migo have? Really none yet. Yeah. I think that guard might make the difference in the game. I might have to give the edge to the Wolverine Wraiths just because they're more well-rounded at this point. I mean, they've got the pieces and the skills to play a somewhat fast-scoring game with the 8-move werewolves. It's got the 8-move 4 agility ghoul, and all those strength 4 pieces to counter the bulls, and all that guard too. The Chorfs don't have any guard yet, so that could be a deciding factor when they start bodying up with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. I probably see the Wolverine race winning too. Again, I just hope Picking Flowers can pick some of those necromantic flowers off. Yeah, again, remove some of the unnecessary bloat.
I mean, it's the ghoul. If you can get rid of the ghoul on that team, it's a different team, because he's only got one, and it's, I mean, with 8 move and 4 agility, it's the elite ball mover. So put some tackle on that ghoul. Good luck, Migo.
Well, at least he has plenty of tackle with his jaws.
That is correct. I don't know how well he will be able to catch up to the 8-move ghoul, but if he does, be sure to hit that ghoul.
And then foul him.
Yes, put that new dirty player to use.
Again and again and again until he's off the pitch.
Hinder's being very unbiased as usual.
Yeah, as long as people die, I'm happy, and I'm even more happy if it's not my players that die.
What, it's Chaos Dwarfs versus Necromancer. I mean, who?
Okay. So, shall we move on to 6B then?
I think we shall.
Yeah. Starting off.
Let's see. Head on down to the games played, and I see at the top there we have Hearts of Oak winning 0-2 against Smocker Rockers, the Orc.
Yes.
Look at those stats there. Pretty even on the tackles, 30 to 30. As expected, the Orcs were able to give out a lot more injuries, but that didn't stop the machine that is the Wood Elves.
Yeah.
Let's see, no passes, so it was all running plays.
Yes.
Looks like, yep, as you would expect from an 0-2, the Hearts of Oak dominated the possession. And no level ups for either team from this game.
Yeah. Quite a low
Really,
SPP spread, I would say.
oh yeah. It is. The Orcs only got the MVP on that blitzer. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
It's a somewhat different looking Wood Elf team here than the one we have over in 6A, but this one's
Yeah.
pretty scary too. I mean, it's a lot less top heavy than that other one.
Yeah. I do see
A lot of
the
dodge. Better bring some tackle. That might have been the problem the Orcs had in that game, is they just couldn't handle all that dodge. And who's up next? Ooh, the fan favorite, Orcs of Letters.
yes. Of course, Ernest Hemingway sending a message this week saying that we should give attention to the rest of his team or he might be murdered.
You should tell the rest of the team to start rolling stat ups then, because stat ups are fun.
Yes.
And if we look at your team and we only see one super stat up character, well, you know what? They're gonna get all the attention.
Yeah. Of course, Orcs of Letters being mentioned by Metal in this week's podcast as one of his favorite teams name-wise.
Ernest Hemingway has won us all over,
Yes.
and we're sorry, Mad Commando, that you had to go against the fan favorite team this week, but we're all homers for Ernest Hemingway.
Yes, and if you look at that skill gain or SPP gain for Orcs of Letter, again, an extremely good game.
Yes, nice good spread, and they were able to get a level up on the lineman Mork Twain.
Yeah.
And even though it was a 2-0 loss for Mad Commando, they were still able to level up a Pestigore and a Rotter. So it wasn't without development for them.
Yes, but still.
I mean, I guess they lost a Rotter that game to some stat bust, but Rotters aren't people. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. If we look at next, we had the Lizards from Dimension
No.
X beating the Libuits
I get sad whenever I see lizards
Bottomizers
beat humans.
2-0.
But I'm always happy when I see fellow Lizard Band coaches win.
Yeah, but the thing is, Cash really hates lizards because he loses them to a lot.
As a humans player, lizards are the enemy. It's been conditioned into me. And when I see stat lines like this from this game, it just reinforces that fact. Just that was a 60 tackles to 20 tackles basically. That's rough. You're taking 3 blocks for every one you give out.
Yeah, and
The humans did inflict more injuries actually. So
There's
see,
humans do make somewhat proficient skink hunters for what it's worth, because they do have the movement to kind of track them down with those blitzers, but it's the speedy sauruses that really give them trouble.
I mean,
not
look at
fast.
those stats. They did 60 blocks. I agree, that's maybe not optimal for the humans, but they only injured 1. So basically the lizards just want to cuddle.
Aww.
oh, so you
I
just
didn't know that the cold bloods like to cuddle.
Yeah, that's how they warm up. They need to cuddle warm-blooded people.
You need to just body up to them and maybe throw some dice here and there.
yeah. Also, Lizards had 25%, 2 times more ball possession. So the Skinks showing their worth there.
Yeah, we gotta level up on a human lineman and a level up on a Saurus. And nobody was too badly hurt on either team, just some badly hurts and an MNG here or there.
Just a friendly game of Blood Bowl.
I'm sorry, my human brother.
I think it's good that I'm here and can show the lizards of 6B some love. Because they totally deserve it. Not
Yes,
only that hate.
you're never gonna hear a lizard love from me. I'm sorry.
Except for I Bet Your Ass I Can and Dino Score.
I can separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, okay. And next we had probably the...
boy, everybody's favorite
Yeah.
mashup: Chaos Dwarfs versus Normal Dwarfs.
Yes, I was about to say the most entertaining game ever of Blood Bowl.
Mhm. Good old 64 blocks to 43.
That's...
Let's just base everything up and block each other.
for...
Probably
That's what they
mostly
did.
one dices.
Mhm. Well, no, I'm a little surprised that the normal dwarfs lost to the chorfs, because once again I would have thought that the guard kind of would have made the difference there.
Yeah.
So you're looking at the chorf team it was a no skill chorf team going into that game, although they did level a hobgoblin, versus a dwarf team that's already developed, a piling on mighty blow blitzer, decent runner, and some guard.
Only problem...
Also, I think the coach of 16 Tons of Headache, I faced him in the Greenham Cup. I
Mhm.
played the game pretty well. He was a bit lucky on the one dices and made a passing play to win the game against me. But I think he's a fairly competent coach. And
If there was ever a race built for throwing a bunch of one dice, it's dwarfs.
Yeah. Yeah. But I see for the Chaos Dwarves, they got SPP, but only on that Hobgoblin, and that's not really something we want.
Yes, I'd wager that that's the score in the MVP, and he's just going the hobgoblin ball carrier route. Which, it works. I'm a little more preferential to the bull centaur carrier myself, but it frees you up to use them more offensively.
Yeah. I'm in the don't play dwarves category of that discussion.
Yes. Disclaimer: I do not play dwarfs.
yeah, just play lizards instead. They're way more fun.
No, Skaven.
Actually, way back in the day, I was a lizards coach.
So you just lost your way.
I did. Somewhere I got lost and I started playing elves, and then I realized what a monster I'd become, and I started playing humans to repent.
Okay, next we had the Crusaders of Kaldor versus Gorashmosh. 2-1 for the elves there.
And they paid the ultimate price for this win because they lost their strength catcher.
That sucks.
The one we so belovedly call strength catcher because we can't pronounce any of these elf names. So
Yeah.
he leaves leader thrower and dodge blitzer alone on the team as the named pieces.
Yeah. If you look at the stats though, only 6% possession for the High Elves. So that means they just picked up the ball, passed it, and scored. I mean,
That's usually the safest way to do it. The more turns you hold on to the ball, the more stuff can go wrong.
yeah. But even in this case, things went pretty wrong considering they had 3 casualties and 2 deaths.
They don't care that much about the lineman death, although it does seem that the dead lineman managed to steal the MVP. Of course, that's always a great way to send pieces out. But losing that strength catcher, that's going to set you back pretty hard.
Yeah. They did get quite good SPP game from the game though, so not that bad. But
And hey, the ogre's leveled an ogre.
yes. Let's see if they threw anyone this game. No, they did throw 2 teammates, both succeeded, so but both were inaccurate passes. So still.
I'm sure the ogres are just happy they were able to put up a point. That's
Yeah.
one of those moral victory kind of things.
Yeah.
And what is next? Girls' Generation versus Fear the Walking Bread. Looks like a nice little rebound win for the Amazons.
Yeah. Lady Killjoy killing or
Ooh,
beating.
but they lost some blitzers rough. Yes, we have a movement busted blitzer in this game for the Amazons and a strength busted mighty blow blitzer, so
Ouch.
it's gonna set you back some.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Looks like a very bash heavy affair. 49 blocks from the Amazons and 37 from the Necros, so Amazons were able to outbash them. But you can't tell that from the casualty box. I guess that's how Armor 7 works.
Yeah.
But not a bad result when you look at what they were going against. I mean, two agility, 4 whites. That's pretty annoying.
Yeah, definitely is.
And we have the Amazon's leveled thrower and the Necro leveled a zombie.
Not bad.
So, I wonder if we're gonna do the same names for those blitzers on Girls' Generation, or if we're gonna like start digging into other K-pop group or K-pop stars. Because I have been informed that we are actively out of people from Girls' Generation to name the team after. So these are all very important questions.
Well, he should just do it with puns, because punny names are the best names.
Yeah.
We could do K-pop puns. I don't know. That'd be very meta.
What, like shit song or something?
We'll workshop it later.
Yeah. Next, 4-hour stream of naming things.
We'll do a special naming stream after this one.
Yes. Okay.
On to the last game of 6B played this week.
Yeah.
Tall Dwarfs with no AV versus Infamy. And looks like the Tall Dwarfs with no AV were actually the ones doing the bullying this game.
Yeah.
Wow, 77 blocks to 59. Wow, that's a lot of blocking.
That's quite a
They were
bash game.
Basing the hell out of each other, yeah.
Yeah, and the humans got the worst part of it by far.
Or
Or
the Bretts, yes.
Bretts.
The Bretts, they have their Frenzy Blitzer died, which is very unfortunate.
yeah,
Dodge Blitzer with MNG, but also a level up, so that's not. At least he's still there.
7 KOs, 3 casualties, and 1 death sustained by the Brits, compared to 1 casualty sustained by the Norse. So that was a pretty rough game on the humans.
I mean, I'm sure the Norse are just happy for a game where they didn't lose any pieces, but it came at the expense of my dear Bretonians.
Yeah. Norse getting 16 SPP, no, 14 SPP
Yes,
in
and
that game.
They were able to level their runner, which is nice.
Yeah. Getting
And the
MVP and
Bretonians
touchdown.
leveled a Blitzer and a Peasant.
Yeah, so good game for the Norse, not that great for the Brits.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been that bad of a game development-wise for the Brett if that Frenzy Blitzer hadn't died, but that will set them back quite a few.
Yeah. And let us take a look at the levels. Yeah.
Yes,
So
see, Orcs of Letter, your favorite and mine.
yep. Ernest Hemingway.
I actually really like them too. They have some great names.
Yeah.
They've won everybody over.
Yeah. Ernest Hemingway inching closer to that level
Their
4.
level up this week was Mork Twain, now Dirty Player.
Yeah. Interesting.
You know, this is the orc team that has it all. It's got the star power of Ernest Hemingway. It's got a troll and a goblin, just for fun, spice things up a little bit.
Yeah. Doesn't have a glorious blitzers of chocolate hornets, but still
No,
looking pretty good.
It doesn't have the elfie blitzers, but I wouldn't say anything bad about any of those blitzers. That's a very solid blitzing group for where this team and all the ones are around it in development.
Yeah.
And moving on to Hearts of Oak,
Yeah.
the 6B's resident Wood Elf Terror.
Not as scary as the other elf
Is there-
teams, but
They
still.
weren't able to find any level ups this week, but no, I think this team is a handful for many to deal with because you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 dodge. So
Yeah, if you don't have.
if you don't, obviously the tree is not a target. They can potentially field, a field of 11 where only 2 pieces don't have dodge. So if you don't have tackle, you're going to be hoping for some lucky pals.
Yeah, maybe the coach actually wanted to play Amazones and just misclicked and then just decided, hey, I can still go for Amazones.
Yeah, I'll just play really expensive Amazons. Why are my linemen so expensive?
Yeah, and then
Moving on to Mad Commando,
Yeah.
the victim of Orcs of Letters this week.
yeah,
Let's see. They leveled the Pestigore. That Pestigore just got block, and we just got Dirty Player on that Rodder.
yeah,
Dirty Player quickly becoming the most popular level up of this week.
yeah. Understandable, I would say.
The foul arms race has begun.
Yeah, I would like to be able to pick up a player with 30 player, but as Lizardman, you don't really get the option to pick one of them.
I mean, yeah, I'd take one over Sure Hands or Block on a skink. Come on.
Yeah, but maybe if I have 3 or 4 of them already, then I might go for a dirty player.
Or
But
natural one turner or something.
Just give Dirty Play to your Croxagore.
well, so you want to see him kill more people, or
Yes, because
what
you're,
are you saying?
because you're not playing Skaven anymore, so I don't care. You can kill everyone you want now.
I think it's a good idea on the Crocs. I mean, he can't, he can't turn over. He can't roll both downs when he's her attacker downs. I guess since you got block.
I consider it if I roll another doubles. Maybe I might get leap on him, but
It's the X factor.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of lizards, we go up to the lizard team of 6B here. Lizards from Dimension X. And they leveled up that Saurus this week to give him block, just rounding out our strategy of giving all the Sauruses block. Pretty good strategy.
I have minus movement skink, but I think that's from
we need to
before.
get rid of that guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's old and
Yeah, that's
he
not
needs
good.
to be replaced.
Also, MNG.
More importantly, though, we do have the plus movement skink. That's
yeah, I would love one of those.
yes. I'm sure you're a little jealous of that.
Yeah,
So he's down a skink for his next game, but he does have reserve, so no loners.
That's another lean and mean lizard team.
Yeah. Lizard's OP.
Amen to that.
I can agree.
Next we have 16 turns of headaches.
Who were not able to find any level ups this week and look to be a little bruised and battered from their run in with their Chaos Brethren.
Yeah. Does have some money in reserve, so
And that's unfortunately 2 of his 3 guard are going to be out for next game, so he's really going to feel that one.
yeah. That's yeah. Currently you'll have one loner for a
Only
game.
running one troll slayer. Interesting.
Yes, that's. I believe it's been like that all season as well.
Yeah.
It's not like he just lost one. I'm pretty sure that it's been a one-man show all along.
Yeah.
Interesting decision.
That
because
is
he-
interesting. I mean, I can't say I've really seen it before, but I can talk myself into it. It's not the hardest thing to reason into
yeah,
because of aviate liability. Easier to protect 1 than 2.
Yeah. So
Moving on to Grosmosh.
it's Gorosmosh.
Ah, yes. We got the strong arm ogre. That's the level up we've needed all along. We don't need none of that piling on, break, tackle, guard. No, we need some strong arm.
He does have 5 ogres, so getting quite formidable.
I find it interesting that he went for a full lineup of 16 players.
Yes,
Because-
even more interesting is he started the season with 4 ogres and filled up on Noblars.
Hmm.
Yeah. he didn't have a best preseason. His current record on this team is 1 draw and 6 losses.
I mean, when do ogres have the best anything? I mean,
Yeah, they
do you really expect your preseason or any season to go great with ogres?
I think
I guess it's all about where you set the bar. It's all relative.
if I read this correctly, it says 100 injured players, but I don't think that's right. That can't be right.
No, he hasn't hurt that many of his own Noblars yet.
No. He has sustained 30 casualties though, so
I believe it. Well, I wish you luck with your strong arm ogre endeavors.
yeah, it's I mean, next we have Fear the Walking Bread.
Yes, they got finished beating up the Amazons this week and beating up and losing to the Amazons, but still beating them up.
Yeah.
And their only level up was a block they took on Life of Pi down there.
Yeah. This team doesn't look too bad. They still have those
No.
plus agi whites, so that's quite nice.
Yeah, I think
Luckily,
this week-
that's just an MNG on that werewolf, because if you remember, the Codfather there is actually a second the Codfather, as we lost the first one early on in the season to, I believe it was an agi bust.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this week's opponent is really happy that
Yes,
Mighty
no
Blow
Mighty
Werewolf
Blow.
is out.
And that is the only Mighty Blow the team has as well, so
Yeah. Does have free guard.
and the undead elves, so the elf whites.
Yeah.
He's still got some to play with, but he'll definitely be missing that casualty werewolf, casualty machine.
Yeah.
And what's up next? What is this? Another beat up Brett's team?
Ah, I haven't seen one of those before.
Yeah.
Man, we are not looking great.
And as you can see, they did find some level ups last game, and we do not know what they are yet.
Yes. Going to level.
Down to 3 blitzers with one of them missing next game. That is going to very, very much hurt them going into the next match with only 2 blitzers.
Yeah, it was not a great season so far for the Brits at all.
No, they've kind of been the whipping boys of both divisions, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Brett's definitely one of the harder rosters to play. I will give him that.
Next we have Tall Dwarves of no AV.
Yes. They were able to have a little rebound this week. They leveled up that runner there, got dodge on him. Pretty obvious choice on level up there.
They also.
And now this roster finally looks like it's at a spot where it can actually start adding some reserves. I mean, they've been playing with loners all season long, trying to play catch up just to get their roster back to 11. You can see that's probably why they're holding on to those busted linemen.
Yeah, I would probably get rid of that armor value 6
Yes.
lineman.
Yes, he needs to be gone. I would fire him and buy 2 more fresh linemen so you could finally, for the first time all season, field a reserve. 'Cause that's the most just ridiculous thing to me. I mean, Norris have to have that reserve or that 87. You're going to be losing people.
Yeah. Next we have Girls Generation.
Yes. Those poor blitzers.
Yes. Ouch. That's not great.
No, it isn't. You were able to level your thrower and give them block just to put some more blodge on the team. Because that's what Amazons do. I mean, it's going to hurt not having those blitzers next game, but I mean, they're not going to feel it as much as another team would, just because at this point in most of the matchups, it's just about the fact that nobody they're playing has tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a little
Interesting
less-
that they
got a little less
have
blodge.
4 rerolls. That's
Yes,
not
no.
something you see often on Amazons.
I believe they've had that from the beginning of the season as well. That's not a new.
Yes, we have.
Unfortunately, we're quite a bit of gold away from being able to replace both of those blitzers. 150k away to be exact. So, could be up to 3 or 4, maybe 5 games before we can get 2 new blitzers on there. So they've got the reserves to hang in there, and this is still the TV where Amazons are just really rowdy with all that dodge.
Yeah.
I mean, if there is a team to absorb losing 2 blitzers like that, it would definitely be Amazons.
Next is Smoker Rockers.
Who had the rough game versus the Wood Elves this week, where they were just not able to find any development outside of an MVP on a blitzer.
Yep.
No new level ups.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, they've got a good thrower to work with there. That's a piece.
Yes.
Why can't the orc teams in my division look like that? I would much rather play against that team.
Where's all the stata blitzers? Yeah.
Yeah.
He must not have gone to the same game planning school as those other orc coaches where you just roll stat ups on everything.
Yeah. Next we have Crusaders of Kalador.
Some more
Kaeldor.
high elves.
Yeah, but they look a bit beat up.
Yes, that is correct. This is the team that lost the strength catcher this week and lost a lineman that leveled up in the game as well. But
Yeah.
oh, what's his face down there's got kick now. Kick elf, that's what we're calling. That's his name. Kick elf.
Yep. And we still have Leader Elf and Dodge Elf.
Yes.
And he doesn't.
So what all this team really needs is to get some more named elves on it, some elves worthy of a name, and
Well, a little anecdote of my experience as a recap caster so far. In one division, in the division 6C, we do have a team, a chaos team, which named all their players after a pro elf name, I believe. It's Imar Hildregen,
yeah.
and he just ended it with different endings and tried to pronounce those names. That's I dislike
See,
Rasta
you know,
for naming his players.
If I
that
can't
way.
pronounce your names or I don't like them, I'm just gonna give them my own names. It's
Yeah.
so
And
we have kick elf and leader thrower.
yeah, and after that, the game of Rasta we cast yesterday, if I remember correctly, we should all call all those chaos dumb passing play chaos. Because that's
Well,
what they did.
basically, what I'm trying to saying, Anubis, if you are in search of some good elf names, just hit up Radsta. I'm sure he will give you a good name.
Yeah.
he's got a list.
Okay. And then Leibowitz lobotomizers.
Yes, your favorite race and mine, humans.
Oh,
It's my favorite race. I don't know, I get
Yeah.
that mixed up.
Yeah, it's I'm decidedly a Skaven coach.
They were able to level up a lineman this week, giving them block. Supposed to get a little blockier.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that choice. I think I might have rather gone kick, dirty player, or I think wrestle is also a good choice as well, just to give you a little cross utility when you already have some block on the team. But block's not a bad skill, and you can never go wrong with it. So
Yeah.
team's coming along. Got one of those blitzers close to level there, or 2 of them. Supposed to get tackle on that blitzer at 15 SPP for sure.
Yes. Eh? And
So it's
then
coming along. Just needs a little more development.
and next we have mutated meatballs from
Last and maybe least because they are Chaos Dwarfs.
yes. And only
And their only skill was a level up last game. It's the sure hands on that hobgoblin.
yes.
Raw.
And that's their only level up so far this season. That's not great considering it's week 3.
No, I mean they'll be getting inducements against everybody for better or worse. I think that may be one of the drawbacks of not using your bull centaurs as the ball carriers is they don't develop nearly as fast. And you're seeing that the other teams that have the bull centaurs as the carriers already got some skills on them.
Does have
Touchdowns are a good way to level up.
does have 3 blockers close to leveling up though, so if he can get some casts on them, that could be quite quick power shift with 3
Or
levels.
you could make a little devil's triangle and they could all farm passes to each other.
Yes.
I mean, just like Radstad tried to do.
that was
I mean, hey, you never succeed the passes you don't try to make.
yes.
Yeah, well, but you can fail a lot of those passes you try to make, and then lose the ball and lose the game against goblins.
They're just 2 agility. What's the worst that could happen?
Lose to goblins. That's what happened.
Yeah, it doesn't get much worse than that.
Yeah, especially if Savo's on the stream at well, I think Savo was quite upset after that game.
That's always that's the scariest part about playing those stunny teams is the fear of the shame of losing.
Yeah. Okay, if we look at leaderboard, we have Hearts of Oak, Lizards from Dimension X, and Orcs of Letter, all 3-0 up top. And then second place we have Girls' Generation, Mutated Meatballs, and 16 Turns of Headache with 2 wins, 1 loss.
You know, I gotta say, I think those 3 teams at the top are probably gonna stay at the top.
Yeah, I think there's a good possibility of that.
I mean, that,
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
outside of the dwarf teams, I don't think anyone really has an answer for those wood elves right now. I mean, lizards are lizards, and they got that nice little movement skink.
Yeah.
And orcs
Well-
of letters have Ernest Hemingway.
Maybe the Norse could do something with all the block,
That would
and
be
they are
interesting.
pretty fast.
The Norse started making a little bit of a comeback. This was the first turnaround week for the Norse. They had a pretty rough first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Speaking of those matchups, though, let's take a look at them.
Yes. Starting us off, Fear the Walking Bread versus Smoker Rockers. What do you think of that game?
You know, the Necro are going to be missing their Claw Mighty Blow Werewolf. That is going to be significant, but I think they still got the tools to beat this orc team. That orc team's still just a little raw looking. Their only real developments on that thrower.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I think it's a good opportunity for the Smoker Rockers to try to make a comeback. It's definitely
I mean, that's about as much of a softball as you're going to get is playing a Necro team with only 1 werewolf.
but
But, you know, that the Necro, they've also got all the guard and 2 4 agility whites, so I just think they're going to have a few too many tools compared to the orcs, who just only really are going to have a one-dimensional approach to this.
yeah,
What else do we have? Ooh,
Yeah. Infam.
Infamy versus Garas Mosh.
Yeah, so
Could this be the rebound game for the Bretts?
I doubt it. Because Brits are doing not so well with seed.
But ogres.
and
mean, it's
Brits
ogres.
definitely have the tools to deal with the ogres.
This Brett team is pretty beat up, though.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not gonna be having reserves for this match, so if they start getting beat up, it could actually get real ugly really fast. You know what? I'm actually gonna take the ogres in this one.
Yeah.
If the Brett team was at full strength and hadn't just destroyed last week, I would give them the edge, but I think it can go very wrong very fast for the Bretts with no reserves.
Yeah, but they definitely could get a tie if they played well.
I mean, it's ogres. Anything could happen. The ogres could fail to pick up the ball every single time.
Yeah. Alright. Afterwards, we have Norse in the form of tall dwarves with no AV
We have the
versus...
tall dwarfs versus the actual dwarfs.
Yes.
And I would give it to the actual dwarves because
Yeah,
they have,
I think that's the safe choice there.
yeah.
You know, the tall dwarfs just haven't performed very good against teams that can outmuscle them this season, and you know they had a little bit of luck coming back this week, but this is a hard turnaround going right up against the dwarfs now.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go pretty safely with the dwarfs on that one. The short dwarfs. Sorry, tall dwarfs.
Yeah, and next we have Amazons versus lizards. Girls' Generation versus lizards from Dimension X. What are your thoughts?
I think you guys
Interesting one.
know who I'm gonna root for.
Yes, you love yourself some K-pop.
Nah, I think I'm gonna prefer my lizard friends.
Lizards aren't your friends.
There's a lot of different ways I could see that game playing out, actually.
Yeah, it's called a Saurus with lots of strength, killing a lot of Amazons.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find some. I mean, he does have some block sources that he can throw on some of the Amazons that don't have block yet, but other than that, he's gonna be really hoping for some pals.
Yeah, I think actually the Amazons will probably have a tough time dealing with the skinks because they are lacking 2 of their blitzers.
Yes, they really wish they had that block mighty blow blitzer for this one. That's the skink hunter. You know, I'd probably give the lizards the edge in this one too, just because of the state that the Amazon team is coming into this one in.
And because lizards are great. All hater
Yes,
lizard
they are
overlords.
great. I will not contest their power.
That's a good decision. I like you now.
Yeah, you won't be another President Full Metal.
Uh-oh.
Just stay out of the rain. Rain can hurt you.
Yeah, Mr. Shady, don't name your next rat ogre President Cash, otherwise...
Mm-mm. No, don't jinx me like that.
Okay, next we have...
Actually, I think you'd just be jinxing yourself naming him after me. You're setting yourself up for failure, let me tell you.
Yes,
Well, I'm not gonna face those game again. So
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna buy a rat ogre again this season.
maybe he will induce Big Red.
Yeah, but that's different.
He'll have the inducement money, that's for sure.
Yeah. Next we have...
Yeah, we got Crusaders of Calidor versus Mad Commando.
High Elves versus Nuggle.
Yes.
I actually liked the Nurgle in the matchup
Yeah, I
because
think I
all
like the
their
Nurgle in this matchup too.
disturbing presence can help them out a lot. Especially against high elves. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go with the Mad Commando. Maybe a tie. But I'll give the edge to the Nurgle.
I do think this is a favorable matchup for the Nurgle, but I don't know. Call it a hunch. Something tells me the elves are just going to elf away with this one.
As can happen.
I don't have any more sound reasoning than that, but I just got a gut feeling.
We'll see how right you are next week.
Ooh.
Yeah. Next we have...
Now we have a little more dangerous elf matchup. We have the mutated meatballs versus the Resident Division Wood Elf Menace.
Yes. Yes, I do.
This is the tackle Wood Elf team, or I mean the dodge Wood Elf team going against the team with all the tackles. So this might be the chance to take the Wood Elves down a peg. Got a lot of tackle to throw on all those AV7, and that all those dodge level ups won't be worth as much.
Yeah, I agree with you, but Wood Elves are still Wood Elves,
Yeah,
so...
they're still Wood Elves. They're still bullshit.
I'm probably gonna go with a tie. I
think
know
the
I'm
Wood Elves
boring.
will win this one, but they're not going to escape it unscathed. I
Yeah.
expect to see that roster thinned just a little bit.
And then final game we have Libuwitsabaus
Oh no.
Bottomizers versus
pulling.
Oxoleta. So
I
we will.
can never pull for orcs against humans, but Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah, I think the humans are gonna might have a smaller roster after this game.
This is a bad matchup for the humans. I'll just put that out there.
Yeah, so I think the Orcs are gonna bash them until they can score
Oh.
without problems.
You know what? I'm never picking against humans. You go humans. You're gonna win this one.
You're wrong, but okay.
I'm gonna go with the Orc of Letters. Maybe if the humans were lizards and not humans, they could have a chance, but since they're humans
Picking
and humans are
is
weak.
wrong. I don't want to be right.
But you don't have to be right. That's the beauty of it.
Come on, humans. Don't disappoint me.
Yeah.
I hope that's not any added pressure.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, I think we got some fun matchups coming up this week.
Yeah. I'll see if I can cast. Hopefully, there's a few happening this weekend during the day. Because I'm probably playing my excessively Alfie League game tomorrow night against Squiggy, where I will lose horribly. And then I'm probably playing my college game on Saturday night, which I'll probably lose horribly as
Good luck
well.
with your elfing. May you not find any snakes.
Yeah, if any
I've
of
heard
you
that elves
are
don't like snakes.
if any of you are interested, I'm probably gonna play my GMan game against the High Elves on Friday, I think 19 UTC.
Ooh, I think I'll be at work then, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm. What time am I? I could possibly cover it, but I'm playing my game against Squiggy around 8:30.
Yeah, sure. If
I'm-
you have the time, I always like to see my game casted. If not, that's totally fine too.
Yeah.
Maybe T will do a Friday Night Revel again, since Herring Sword is on Thursday, today actually.
Easy?
I think so. He said he will do Thursday Night Revel.
Oh.
Maybe.
Well, that's the
Mm,
nice thing about
sometime.
Discord. There's usually someone around willing to hop up and cast a game.
Yeah. Just remind me tomorrow in this, and I'll see what I can do.
Sure
All
thing.
right, everybody.
Yeah.
I think that was a pretty good little recap.
Yeah.
Wishing everybody luck next week, especially the humans.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll be uploading this to YouTube as actually right after we stop. So, and I'll post it everywhere I can.
Good luck, y'all.
Yeah. See you. Thanks, Indus, for joining us, by the way.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You added a
See,
nice lizard point of view to an otherwise biased discussion.
Yeah, and I didn't even once make fun of Skaven. Not even once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure
I
that.
mean, unless you kind of count like passive aggressively right now.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll catch up on the next cast we do together. Okay, so thanks for watching, everyone. See you.
Adios.
See ya.